in a country like ours that does marriage dhum-dham and spends a lot of money on it, don't you want gay marriage? It's going to create huge economic burst for the country if people like us can get married too.
Parag and I received thousands upon thousands of messages on social media, just saying, Vaibhav and Parag, you guys are so amazing, we love you, you inspire us so much, this is so great. I wish we had parents like you, but also I wish this was a reality for us. You can do it because you're in America. Yeah, even I have somebody I love, but I don't think this will ever happen. But looking at you, it gives me hope.
When we went there, our logic was, well, Foreign Marriage Act basically lets you register your marriage. Here is a marriage certificate. Why wouldn't you let us register our marriage? It was a simple question, and there's nowhere in the law does it say that, if you're LGBTQ, if you're a same-sex couple, any of that nature, that, you cannot come to the consulate and don't even bother, registering your marriage. And it was so funny, to see their reaction. They were absolutely clueless. They were clueless, and they were like, well, it's not in our rule book, and, it's, we just cannot do it. And we kept pushing. We were like, well, okay, give us a written denial.
But we don't blame the consulate, right? Because the consulate gets their instructions from the government. So we have great respect for the consul general, for the ambassador, and for the officers who work there. But they were not given training or instructions on how to deal with this situation. Our lawyers are Manika Guruswamy and Arundhati Kachu, who are the dynamic duo that was behind 377 and the successful litigation. They themselves are a lesbian couple. They argued so beautifully in front of the Delhi High Court. I mean, it brought tears to our eyes when Manika said, this is about our humanity. This is about treating us as human beings. And the court was receptive. The two judges who heard the case were very thoughtful in their responses. And in fact, even the government's lawyers who are on the opposite side acknowledged that this is not an adversarial case. This is meant to be a case that's going to focus on the law. And so the next step is that by January 8th, the government will respond. They'll file its response and we'll go from there. But remember, there are multiple cases like ours that are making their way through different courts across India. Ultimately, the goal is to get to full and total equality for LGBT people. I think we need to tackle this question about against our culture, because I keep hearing it again and again. And I want to be clear, Vaibhav and I grew up in the culture. Even though I grew up in the US, he grew up in Delhi, we were both raised in the Indian culture.
Very Indian families.
And let me tell you what the Indian culture is. It is not a set of colonial era laws imposed by the British on us. It is not the imposition of standards and values that came from one wave of conqueror after another. Indian values, whether you are Hindu, Jain, Buddhist, Muslim, Sikh, Christian, the value is the same, which is we are a country and a culture that believes in love and in the fundamental bonds of family and community. And that is very much what distinguishes us from the West. It's not about the individual, it's about the community. And if you believe in that, then you believe that the bonds of marriage, any kind of marriage, make us stronger. They strengthen the family unit. So our culture believes in marriage. And by the way, in a country like ours that does marriage dhum-dham and spends a lot of money on it, don't you want gay marriage? It's going to create huge economic burst for the country if people like us can get married too. Think about Vaibhav's parents, right? For years we were dating, we were boyfriends, and that's not something that Indian parents can understand. They love their son, just like my parents love me. They came to accept both of us. They came to accept our partners. But for years, we're dating and they don't know how to deal with that. But the minute we got married, and it was an amazing change for both of us, the minute we got married, our parents understood who we are. Suddenly, this is my damad, this is my jamai, this is the way that I interact with him when he comes to my home, when we go on vacations together. So marriage gives us a sense of certainty, and Lord knows that's something that we Indians love to have. Is the only reason that this happened, the only reason we got our love story, the only reason we'll get our happy ending is because we took a chance on being who we are. And that can't happen for you if you stay in fear. If you stay in the closet and stay afraid of what might happen, you can never have that love story. So for both of us, we went out on a limb and we took a chance, and a good thing happened. And I hope that other LGBT people across India who right now don't believe that this is a possibility for them, it is. But first you have to ask for it.